Subscribe to the MTL World at Mythal World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2, Origin Continent. Volume 10, Breaking Through with Force. Chapter 366 Cultivation and War. 4th of Volume 10. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Luo Feng still continued with his frugal method of comprehension. He studied fragmented materials such as a single scale, a tendon, a piece of flesh, a drop of blood, observing the profound patterns within these scattered materials. He then integrated these insights, shaping them into what he envisioned as the most perfect form before comparing them to the Xuanhuan bloodline. The cave residence built by the lords nourished his soul and flesh, accelerating his thought processes to 1,000 times their speed in the dark holy realm. With the aid of certain rare treasures, his mental speed could easily reach 10,000 times its usual rate. At such speeds, coupled with his far higher realm than before, even meticulous comprehension allowed him to decipher 100 kinds of low-level Xuanhuan bloodlines in just 1 century at the start. From 10,000 Xuanhuan bloodlines to 100,000 Xuanhuan bloodline, Luo Feng's comprehension grew increasingly profound. Finally, one day, the insights and mysteries of integrated surpass even the original structure of these Xuanhuan bloodlines. Luo Feng realized that his attempts at refinement had begun to exceed the inherent designs of these low-level bloodlines. Natural creation isn't necessarily the best. These are, after all, low-level Xuanhuan lifeforms. They still have flaws. This low-level Xuanhuan bloodline has far too many flaws. I've already spotted dozens of them. As time passed, Luo Feng progressed from identifying 10 or 20 flaws to uncovering dozens in each bloodline. Sometimes, a single glance was enough for him to pinpoint numerous weaknesses. These flaws made them weak, limiting their strength to only early or mid-stage God-Emperor realm among low-level Xuanhuan lifeforms. There were too many flaws. The high-level Xuanhuan bloodlines were far more intriguing. Their intricacies were on another level. When he finally finished studying all the low-level Xuanhuan bloodlines and moved on to the high-level Xuanhuan bloodlines, Luo Feng felt a surge of excitement. The profound mysteries within high-level Xuanhuan bloodlines contained countless unexpected revelations, broadening his horizons. Luo Feng was like a devout student. He meticulously compared and learnt from their rune patterns, uncovering new truths about life, destruction, and everything in between. For most of this cultivation journey, Luo Feng remained highly motivated. Even when occasional fatigue set in, a brief respite with family and friends in his homeworld was enough to reinvigorate him before he resumed his studies. Infinite Xuanhuan space, the Jade River World Clusters. At the heart of this world cluster lay the shattered remains of the Yuhei Holy Realm, resembling an egg devoured until only fragments and debris floated in the vast infinite Xuanhuan space. This cluster held countless worlds, including numerous origin worlds. Many of the billions of worlds had already been breached, and their native lifeforms had already been exterminated. As for the origin worlds, many had undergone great destruction, with their lifeforms wiped out entirely, forcing those worlds into new cycles of rebirth. Some fared better, but countless others had vanished completely, devoured without a trace. 7 terrifying figures stood within the boundless infinite Xuanhuan space. Their mere presence drew the attention of countless factions across the realm. Each of them wielded power at the highest level, having grasped the fundamental essence of strength. All held seats in the land of origin, and their united front was a force that instilled fear across all factions. The Xuanhuan progenitors have temporarily retreated. Yet, the 7 showed no relief. The 75 Xuanhuan progenitors joined forces against just the 7 of us. A deep-skinned being sighed softly. Even united, we were at a disadvantage. We could only watch as the endless armies of innate Xuanhuan lifeforms ravaged the origin worlds, other billions of worlds and the countless smaller realms. He shook his head. The progenitors tied us down while their vast legions ran rampant. Their numbers are beyond measure. We couldn't stop them while fending off the progenitors. This war, we cannot win. The outcome is inevitable. Shut your mouth, Negu. The Lord Jin, clad in silver-white armor with 12 horns and a long, spiked tail, snarled in fury. If they wish to devour our practitioner faction's world clusters, those progenitors will pay with their lives. So far in this war, we've already slain 3 of them. Let's see how many more they're willing to sacrifice. I agree with Jin. A tall, slender man draped in a black cloak smirked. War always brings losses. Some origin worlds will fall, countless smaller realms will perish. But the infinite Xuanhuan space will birth new ones in time, and we can always create more worlds. The cost means nothing. What matters is making the entire realm understand that challenging our faction demands a bloody price. We must think of a solution, Yuan frowned. We can't just watch as they conquer world cluster after world clusters. This is not a solution. Each world cluster represented countless epochs of meticulous effort by the lords. Every origin world had been carefully arranged, every ordinary world filled with thriving civilizations. The spatial transport networks, surveillance systems, resource extraction sites. Xing Meng, do you have any ideas? The colossal Wu Lan turned to a middle-aged man. Lord Xing Meng, who had taken on forms ranging from child to elder across countless reincarnations in different origin worlds, merely smiled faintly. His appearance and race were ever-changing, a testament to his endless cycles of rebirth. Among the 7 lords, Lord Xing Meng truly possessed the most diverse methods. The Xuanhuan progenitors of the innate Xuanhuan life form faction had wildly differing temperaments, and their internal conflicts also ran deep. This time, they've managed to rally 80% of the progenitors to war, 93 in total, Lord Xing Meng said. So far, we've slain 3. The remaining 90 rotate frequently, withdrawing the heavily injured to recover while others take their place. Is there a way to kill another progenitor? Lord Wu Lan asked. The other 5 lords turned their gazes toward Xing Meng. Xing Meng, whose clones walked countless possible futures, observing and recording the infinite Xuanhuan space across past, present, and future, was the chronicler of all timelines. After battling us for so long, the progenitors have learned from their losses, Lord Xing Meng said with a faint shake of his head. With just the 7 of us, it's nearly impossible to kill another Xuanhuan progenitor now. Though the 70+ progenitors held the numerical advantage against the 7 lords, but sheer numbers couldn't suppress the lords' power. Unbeknownst to them, the progenitors had suffered injuries, some severe enough that if they accumulated for a long time, it could even kill a Xuanhuan progenitor. I must also warn you, Lord Xing Meng continued, most of our territory has already fallen in this war. The world-class Xuanhuan lifeforms of the enemy faction have devoured too many origin world source, meaning several new progenitors will likely emerge soon. More Xuanhuan progenitors. The lords exchanged grim looks. Origin world source is the most coveted feast for the innate Xuanhuan faction. If the world-class Xuanhuan lifeforms consumes enough sources, there is a slim chance they could ascend to Xuanhuan progenitor. Let us withdraw and recuperate, Yuan declared. The progenitors have retreated for now, but they'll return once fully healed. We must use this time to recover as well. The others nodded. A single progenitor was no threat, but 70+, all wielding supreme power, had worn them down. While the enemy could rotate their forces, the 7 lords had no reinforcements. The relentless pressure had left them weary, both physically and mentally. With a thought, they vanished. They weren't worried about ambushes because 1 or 2 stealth-specialized progenitors might slip past, but an army of 70. It would be impossible to conceal the different powers of more than 70 Xuanhuan progenitors. The lords would detect them instantly. And with Xing Meng's mastery over time and space, any attack would be intercepted before it even struck. We've poured endless resources into nurturing new lords, yet none have emerged, the black-cloaked Mo man said with a sigh. I've always believed lords aren't forged by resources alone. True strength comes from trials, excessive aid only breeds weakness. I agree, Lord Jin growled. Harsh tempering breeds warriors. Coddling them. That just creates trash. Enough debate on cultivation methods, Yuan interjected. We'll revise our approach in the next era. Mo man and Jin fell silent. Speaking of which, there's a practitioner of the fusion path, Luo Feng, Yuan remarked casually. His talent is noteworthy. Oh. A origin world lord without relying on bloodlines? Lord Wu Lan asked. Yuan shook his head. He'll likely still need to refine one. Then he has no hope, a golden-robed woman said dismissively. None at all, Lord Shi Jiyu agreed. Only by comprehending the Xuanhuan bloodline path, like I did, can one resist its pollution. Luo Feng doesn't walk the bloodline path. He follows the life-death Dao, Yuan confirmed. Hopeless, Shi Jiyu scoffed. The other lords seemed disappointed except for Xing Meng, whose eyes glinted with curiosity. The past is fixed. The present unfolds. But the future holds infinite possibilities. Xing Meng's countless clones traversed divergent timelines. As reality shifted, some futures collapsed into oblivion, erased from existence. They underestimate Luo Feng. A childlike incarnation of Xing Meng stepped away from the fading timelines, moving into those still intact. I've observed over 30 million potential paths for Luo Feng. And in a few, he becomes a lord. In one, Luo Feng refines a world-class Xuanhuan bloodline, ascending to world-class Xuanhuan lifeform. Despite the will and memory pollution, he abandons his original path, forcibly comprehending a Xuanhuan life-death Dao which was steeped in destruction and taint. Even with a bloodline, he becomes a lord. But I've only seen this succeed once. As for breaking through with force, I've witnessed 8 victories. A spark of anticipation lit in Xing Meng's eyes. Among the 237 world-class Xuanhuan practitioners in their faction, only a handful had futures where they ascended to Lord Realm. Most possibilities led to dead ends. Succeeding a few times out of 30 million. His potential is the highest among the new generation. Lord Xing Meng smiled, clearly looking forward to it. The future is unwritten. And Luo Feng's story had only just begun. Blank, underscore 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 underscore. End of chapter. Subscribe to MTL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel.